Well, Darren, presumably this game comes at quite a good time for you, in that some of those players who haven't been involved and having had a settled starting 11, it's quite nice to have this fixture.
Yeah, it's one I'm looking forward to. Obviously an opportunity for the ones that, like you say, haven't been playing week in, week out. So it's a game we're looking forward to. It's a game we want to go and win. Fortunate to be a winner in this tournament as a player and a manager. And although these games may seem like, we're not going to be so serious about them, but we're going to be very serious in the sense that we want to try and do well in this tournament.
Yeah, it's important to get that balance right, isn't it? You can use it as an opportunity to get some of the other players involved, different sort of competition, but equally the competitiveness of it remains the same.
Well, it'll be a competitive game, there's no doubt about that. And the team I pick will mainly be the ones that haven't been playing, but still be a very strong team. And with good players in the team, so I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to one or two playing in perhaps a different sort of position than they have done in the past. So it's a game we go there with a strong team.
Yeah, and Dan Butler's a good example of how if you're out the side, you always need to be ready to go because you never know what's around the corner.
Well, yeah, it's important that this week we use wisely in the sense that we may get another game later on like Friday. We're not sure on that. If not, we'll have a game in-house. Then there's a game next Tuesday against Bristol in the under-23s. The ones that play tomorrow will play in that as well. So it means that we'll get them up to speed closer to the ones that have been playing on a regular basis. So it's important that we do that.
As you say, it's a competition that's been good for you, and still the first and the only national piece of cup silverware that Posh have ever won, which is quite a nice marker.
Yeah, it is. And we went there, and obviously it was a very good day out. We won 3-1. Great for the fans, and great to go to Wembley and win. So the sort of end result is all these games are leading up to that. So we want to try and make sure that if we can get these games won, get through and then take it from there.
Yeah, all about having the momentum. And I suppose secondly as well, given where the final falls in the season, potentially with playoffs, it's no bad thing to have had an experience of Wembley for the group of players that you've got. If you can have that, that's brilliant.
Well, yeah, I think we did actually use that as quite a motivation when the year we got to the final. We actually got beaten in playoff semi-finals, but it was sort of, look, can we get back to Wembley sort of thing. So, we know that if we were to do that, it'd be fantastic, but we are a long way off that. But the players have been told in the meeting this morning that, this is as important a game as any other we've had this season.
And with your groups of players, I suppose it's twofold really, in that you've got some who have been on the fringes of things and then others that haven't kicked a ball as yet in anger, so getting that balance right will be crucial.
Yeah, I think it is going to be, and it's important that whoever comes in and whoever starts plays the way we want them to and gets all the fitness elements out of it. I don't think they'll be too rusty. I mean, there's, off the top of my head, most of them have been involved in some way in terms of getting minutes on the pitch. Obviously Butler played Saturday, so he will play again. I think it's important that he gets up more than 90 minutes. I thought he was excellent on Saturday. And some of the players that played on Saturday will obviously start again tomorrow night.
Now, I know we're a little way from the transfer deadline as we speak right now. We've got a few hours to go. Does that play into your thinking when it comes to preparing for tomorrow? If it weren't transfer deadline day today, would there be some players that might be available that might not be? Does it make it a bit more confusing?
No, I think the window shuts at 5. I'm really relaxed about it. We've spent a long time trying to add another midfield player, but it had to be the right one that we feel would come in and either be really competing for a place and real competition, strengthening the squad. And unfortunately, we've not been able to do that because the couple that we identified, one club's not allowing him out on loan, and the other one wants to stay and fight for his place, which we respect. So I then had a decision to make whether I just bring someone in to add to the squad or stick to what we've got. So I've just stuck with what we've got. Carl Barker, who was going to go on loan, he'll stay with us now, and we'll look at again in January. So I'm happy to promote from within because we've got some good young players. In terms of going out, Naismith, Woodyard and O'Hara, there is interest in them, but obviously we're running out of time, so they're the three that we'll have to see what develops over the course of the day. If
nothing develops with those three, do they just get reintegrated back in? Would you be willing to use them? How would you see that situation?
Well, the situation then would be that they're still our players, so I'd have to manage that situation as best I could. But clearly, I think the best thing for all three of them would be to go out and continue playing football.
Yeah, and one of the big targets for this season, you mentioned it in the build-up to the campaign, you wanted to get the young players involved. We touched upon it at the weekend. It's great for Harrison Burrows that he's had a couple of appearances, and I guess the trophy is another chance really for some of those younger players, either tomorrow or later on.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't just want them to be, classed as sort of young players that are just in the fringes. These guys need to be pushing for starting places. That's why I look at Burrows and Serhat. They're two very, very good players. Wardy, people like that. They need to be pushing to get in the team, not just be happy to be in the squad. And I think they're good enough to do that. So hopefully tomorrow night shows that really.
Yeah, and for those lads as well, similarly to when we were talking about Dan Butler, it can change incredibly quickly. You can think that maybe you're a little way off the starting 11, someone gets an injury, a suspension, the shape of the team changes, and you can be right in there.
That's exactly how it is, and that's why this week's important for us to be sure we get them up to speed in terms of minutes on a competitive game, and obviously that's what we'll do.
Yeah, they've done well, those lads, haven't they, to put themselves into the position that they're already in. That group of players have done everything you would have wanted so far?
The ones that haven't been
the
playing,
younger ones.
yeah, I think they've been great. I think we've got some really good young players in the squad, and I'm excited about that. You've got Kanu, he's a good player. You've got to forget, I know he's played a lot of games, then Belly's only a kid. Wardy's young, Serhat, Burrows, we can go through it all. Frankie Kent's still only young, Reedy's only 22. We've got some really good players. Now Mason's only 22, I think he is now, so we've got a good squad. We wanted to, in terms of the average age, bring it down from last season. We've done that, and we think we've got some really good potential in the squad.
Do you see some real enthusiasm in those young players as well? I guess it's a bit different, isn't it, from when you're later on in your career?
Yeah, listen, they're fearless, and sometimes that's a great thing. But I look at Saturday, and we're running past their players towards the end. We ran them into the ground towards the end of the game, and I like to see that. The second goal was a great example. The attack started, and we had 6 players that ran past theirs, and we got the counter attack. So I think the desire to run is so important these days in football. Yeah,
different group of players perhaps tomorrow, but would you like the shape and the feel of the team to remain the same, to give you the maximum flexibility? Would you like to use the midfield diamond so you've got the continuity there?
Yeah, I think it's important. Even actually speaking when I'm meeting with the youth team today, they're going to have to. They play a different way, but they're going to have to start looking at the diamond as well, because young Ricky will be in the squad tomorrow, Flynn will be in the squad, so they need to adapt to playing in the positions of that formation. And I think that's something that they need to keep doing, and to be fair, Matty and Simon are totally on board with that and understand it.